Hi everybody and welcome to another assembly with me, Matt Beaton. I'm a children's author. If you haven't seen my other videos, check them out now. They're about loads and loads of different topics and how they link to writing and schoolwork. Today we're going to have a look and have a discussion about resilience. So, what is it? What does it mean? Is it spelt with an E or an A? Tricky questions indeed. Now, resilience, I think, goes hand in hand with perseverance in a way. Now, I've done another assembly on perseverance, so it's definitely worth checking out that one as well. But to me, perseverance is all about finding different ways to achieve your goal. Rather than doing the same thing over and over again, it's about finding different ways to achieve whatever it is you've set out to achieve. Okay? Whereas I think resilience is the character muscle that really means we have the strength and desire to keep persevering. Okay, so without resilience, we can't persevere. Okay, so I think resilience is as important as perseverance. Okay, now I spoke in my perseverance discussion about getting rejected by lots of agents when I wrote my first book. So if you haven't seen that video, then let me just catch you up. So authors, when they write a book, they tend to need an agent to help them get their books to publishers so that they can be sold to people like you. Most authors get lots of rejections before they get accepted, if they ever do. So every time I got a rejection email from an agent, it felt like somebody was kicking me. I remember the first time it happened, I was so shocked, even though I knew it was almost certain to happen. Like that, I just sat there and stared at the computer for about 10 or 15 minutes trying to take it in. It was horrible. It felt like somebody had looked at my writing and said, nah, mate, this is rubbish. Nobody will like this. Why are you bothering? At that point, I wanted to give up writing and never send it to anybody else. Okay. And I'd gone through the same thing actually writing that first book. It took me nearly 2 years to write The Spyglass and the Cherry Tree, because I'd write a little bit and then self-doubt would set in. I'd kind of think, no, this is rubbish, I can't do this. I'd put it away. I'd go away and do something completely different that wasn't writing. And then I'd come back to it, I'd write it a little bit more. And again, I'd think, no, this isn't very good. I'd send it away. And just with a quick show of hands, how many of you have ever felt like that in class? You've kind of just wanted to screw up a piece of writing you've done, throw it away and think, no, I just want to start again. Okay, I thought so. And it's the same with me, it's the same with authors everywhere. We all do it. I still go through it now when I'm writing books. And I've written 8, 9, 10 books now. Okay, but I still feel like sometimes when I'm writing, no, I'm not good enough and I need to push through. And that's where that resilience comes through. Okay, so let's have a bit of a quick discussion before we go on. Pause the video and have a chat with the people around you about whether you've ever felt like that. Have you ever had a rejection or felt like you weren't good enough for something? Okay, anything in life that you've just kind of felt, oh, I'm not good enough for this, or somebody you felt like you've been rejected by something or by somebody to do something. Pause the video now and have a chat. Okay, welcome back. I bet some of you talked about sport or schoolwork. Okay, it's a horrible feeling, isn't it? And it's natural to feel down at those points. There's nothing wrong with feeling frustrated and emotional when you get bad news or when you struggle to overcome something. It's perfectly okay to not be okay. That's perhaps the most important thing about all of this. It's easy to look at famous sports stars who seem to find everything easy, or to look at your friend who never seems to struggle with maths, but is also really, really, really important to remember that they do struggle with lots of things. Okay, they might not talk about it and you might not see it, but they do. Usain Bolt wasn't always the fastest in the world. He will have been beaten in races many times throughout his life by other people. Your friend who's amazing at maths, you think, will have struggled with other things as well. They might struggle with maths as well. Okay, I would love it if we lived in a world where we all felt like we could discuss things that we struggle with. So let's start now. Okay, let's be open. Let's have that discussion. For the next 30 seconds, have a discussion with the people around you about something that you struggle with. Okay, you don't need to give any details about why you struggle with it. Okay, it's just something that you don't find easy, because I think you'll be surprised that the people around you, the things that they struggle with. Okay, pause the video and have a quick chat. Off you go. Okay, welcome back. So hopefully you've seen that everybody, including your teacher, struggles with things. Okay, I struggle with things as well. I struggle with coming up with ideas sometimes when I'm writing books. I struggle with remembering to do things. Okay, I struggle with picking up new concepts when it's something that I'm not necessarily interested in. Okay, we all struggle with different things. And, I really struggle with art. Okay, I would love to be amazing at drawing. I would love to be able to just get a pen and paper and be able to draw something, but I really, really struggle. Okay. Some people may not have told you what they struggle with there. Some people may not want to talk about it yet, and that's perfectly okay. Okay, but just understand that everybody struggles with something. If your teacher didn't tell you, by the way, while they were talking, ask them after the video, because there will definitely be something that they struggle with. Okay. When I was a teacher, all of the children in my class always used to laugh because I really struggle with dancing as well. Okay, I can't sing to save my life. And like I said, I am really, really disorganized. Okay, so my class, when I was a teacher, used to love reminding me that I'd forgotten things. They used to love trying to get me to learn new dances that they'd learnt from TikTok or for the latest song that was in the charts or something like that. And I embrace that. I know I struggle with those things. I was very open with my class about struggling with those things because I think it is really important to understand that everybody struggles with something. But that resilience will keep you going. Okay, so just like Usain Bolt struggling with running at sometimes, I struggle with what I'm supposed to be amazing at, which is writing sometimes. I'm a professional author and writer. I should be amazing at it, everybody thinks, but I still struggle with it. Okay, so I might sit there for hours talking to my pet lizards, trying to work out how to make a dialogue sound natural in the story. Worryingly, they often talk back. And you know what? That's okay. Not the talking back, my lizard's talking back, that's weird. But the fact that I struggle with it and the fact that I find other ways to deal with it is fine. Okay? That's where resilience is so important, because if I didn't have that resilience, when I struggled with my writing, I would have put that first book away, never come back to it, and I wouldn't be here talking to you now. Okay, it's about taking that hit, realizing, okay, I've had a bad moment. Okay, whether it's bad news, whether it's a difficult situation, whether it's a fallout with a friend, whether it's finding something hard, and then still getting back up again. Okay, that's what resilience is all about. Okay, it's about not sitting there at your computer when you're writing that first story thinking I'm rubbish and giving up. It's about not giving up. Now, perseverance, like I said, is finding a different way to get to that goal, but without the desire to keep going and finding that way to your ultimate goal, without that resilience, then there would be no perseverance, because you would just give up before you even had chance to persevere. Okay, now I've got much better at being resilient with my writing over time. I've been writing now for 6 or 7 years. And so those days where I was putting my story away and almost giving up, hopefully are long behind me now, because I've built up my resilience with my writing, but I still have days where I struggle. Okay, but I don't get anywhere near as frustrated when I'm actually writing now. So, there are moments when somebody might leave a review for one of my books that isn't 5 stars, and you kind of think, oh, that's disappointing, because I want everybody who reads my stories to love them. But I also know that it's not realistic, and I've learned that over the years. Okay, people like different things. So I allow myself to be upset about it for a while. It's okay to not be okay and to listen to your emotions. And then I move on and I write some more. Okay, sometimes, finding that tool to help you be resilient is really, really important. Okay, so it might be stopping what you're doing that's making you upset and trying to do something else, taking a break from it. If you're falling out with your friends, take a break and play with somebody else. If you've had bad news, find somebody to talk to about it. Okay, don't bottle it up inside. That will help you to be resilient. If you're getting angry in class, take a step away. Okay, find a safe space that you can go to where you can just take a few minutes to calm down and reevaluate the situation, and then use those resilience muscles to come back and persevere at whatever it is that was making you frustrated in the first place. Okay. So, when I get negative reviews, I'm able to look back and think, okay, well, look, I've got all of these positive reviews as well. So I can use that as a tool to help me get perspective on the situation and bounce back more quickly. So I guess it's kind of important to remember that resilience is all about your bounce back ability. Okay, it's about accepting that you are going to get knocked down, but making sure that you get back up and carry on, and making sure you've got that desire to get back up and carry on. Okay, it's always very easy to lie on the floor and refuse to get up, but you can't spend your life lying in the mud. Okay, sooner or later, you've got to get back up and face the world and get on with whatever it was that's kind of knocked you down in the first place, or move on past whatever has knocked you down in the first place. But listen to those emotions. Accept it's okay to need help, to not be okay, to be upset about things. Nobody's saying don't be upset, but then find a way, use that resilience to get back up. Okay, thanks for listening. Hopefully that's helped you a little bit. Keep an eye out for the rest of my videos. Don't forget to check out my books online. Use the links that are up on the screen. If you have any questions about being a writer or an author, get your teacher to get in touch with me. I'm more than happy to answer them. Okay, thanks very much, and I'll see you next time.